back at the film on those two breakdowns that John Mateer got in the end zone, what did you see, and especially on that 3rd and 20, just how kind of disappointing was that when you look back at the film on that one?
Yeah, I mean, I think the loss was disappointing, but got to move on, turn the page, and be better this week.
You tried something totally new with 3 linemen, 3 linebackers, kind of an old school defense. How do you feel that worked overall?
I don't think it was too new for us. We've done some stuff like that, but same thing. Kind of moving on, going forward. It's a tough game, but got to get ready for this week and not live in the past.
You see, Jed yesterday said that you guys didn't execute on that goal line play, especially with the blocking. What did you see on that play?
Yeah, he's correct. Yeah, we need to do a better job. We need to coach it better and make sure our guys are in great position to execute.
How did you feel the line performed just in general?
Okay, not great. Obviously need to do better. There's some good things on the film, and there's some things we got to get corrected. So I think we just need to perform better. We'll get to the spot. We'll get there.
How close are you to getting to where you want to be offensively?
We want to get better every week. So if we're getting better every week, it's going to take through the whole season. But I think we're really close. I love our team. We got great players, great kids. They got great attitude. They're ready to go attack this week. So really excited about that.
What's the number one thing that you want the O-line to focus on this week in terms of getting better? Like what area?
It'll just be attacking this new scheme that we got to go against. It's really strong defense, and they got some unique things, and we need to make sure that we adjust to the looks that we get so we can attack those.
Steve, you're a little short on linebackers, with Drew being out and maybe Anthony too. How much are you going to need from guys like Kamori and Brian this week?
Yeah, both those guys have played. They played a lot last week, and they played in previous games. So, yeah, all those guys play. But yeah, that's why we practice. We got a bunch of good players who have been playing a lot, and if somebody goes down, we got to put somebody out there. So.
What is it about Corey's skill set that allows him to play a couple of different positions? Because he got the start as a freshman. It looked like he lined up in a couple of different spots. What do you see from him in his skill set that allows him to play so early?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's young. He's got a long way to go. I think he can get a lot better, but he's got some good speed. He's got some good instincts. He's tough, but yeah, he's got a long way to go. Just like everybody else can keep getting better. I thought BC said it well that we want to get better every week.
Steve, how do you look at just the penalties in the secondary? And what do you feel you can do to correct them moving forward?
I could coach better.
In what areas? How do you feel you can help the players better in that regard?
I mean, same question that BC answered earlier. I mean, I'm always trying to improve as a coach. I'm a young guy, so I got to get better every day and stress it more, coach it better, and explain to those guys what we're looking for.
Steven, just from what I saw, it just looked like you guys played so much better defense in the second half. When you went in at halftime, was there indeed adjustments, or was it just executing better, combination of both? What was the main difference that you saw the second half versus the first half?
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of time at halftime to talk about things, just like you got a lot of time in between series to talk about things. So all that stuff's a focus, and I think those guys played hard, but that stuff's in the past now. We'll try and get better this week.
What do you think they did better in the second half?
I don't know. I think we all did a better job as a team. I can't point to one thing or the other.
Brennan, Decker DeGraff's been one of the highest graded true freshmen in terms of Pro Football Focus. How beneficial has that been for your offense being without Quentin Moore, especially?
Yeah, it's been a huge addition. Really, we kind of thought that he would be able to perform like this. We've had him for a long time now, getting all the spring practices too. So it's great that he's developing the way he is.
What stands out about Northwestern's run defense? Obviously, you guys have Jonah. You guys are built on the run. They have a strong run defense. What stands out about their?
Yeah, they do a heck of a job with their scheme. It's a two shell. They're going to be two safeties back there, but they'll be in the run fits. They'll be covering deep, and and they do a good job of kind of funneling everything to their linebackers. They just got a good scheme. They coach well. It's not very, I would say, it doesn't require a lot of different calls for them. They play a couple different coverages, a couple different fronts, but they coach really well. So it's impressive.
For both of you guys, how have you seen the team kind of react to coming off a loss?
Yeah, the guys have been great. They want to snap back and go get another opponent. So it's a beautiful thing about the sport of football. It's only a week away. So the attitudes have been just right. They're ready to go attack this. So
Double down on
Brennan, this is kind of a milestone week for this program, entering the Big Ten, and having its first conference game. Can you sense anything amongst the guys that, this is a little something different?
I would say probably not yet. I'd have to check back with you later in the week on that one. If the Big 12 thing, the last time we saw them was making the corrections from last week. So I'm sure it'll be a big thing. It's conference play. It's a big deal to us, just like all these games are. So they'll have the right regard for it.
Steve, Northwestern's got a starting quarterback who's only going to be making his second start. Only played an FCS team. I guess, how do you evaluate a quarterback like that? How do you scheme for a quarterback who just hasn't put a lot on tape yet?
You treat him like any other player. You watch the tape, evaluate the tape, and go after the game plan and coach the guys just like you would coach them any other week. So they can put whoever they want out there, just like we can put whoever we want out there. But you got to go out there and play, not overthink that stuff.
You got new offensive coordinator. How would you describe Northwestern's offense from what we've seen the first 3 games this year?
I think they're tough. I think they play hard. I think the backs run hard. I would just say that they're a tough group.
Steve, how much have you noticed the growth in the players from week to week as compared to the NFL? Because obviously in the NFL it seems like you can go like a month or two without seeing a ton of growth. How have you seen that compared to the college game?
I haven't really made many comparisons or reflected back on all that stuff. I just worry about the guys I got, and I'm very happy with where I'm at. And I got a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. BC has a ton of work to do, and so we're going to attack it.
We're going to go do it.
Brennan, when you guys looked at the scouting report, I know this guy isn't pegged to start this week, but their quarterback starter for the first 2 games was Rogers' backup at Mississippi State last year. Were you aware of that? That could have been all Mississippi State?
I'd heard that. Yeah. I don't know if I have a comment on that, but yes, I did know that they were teammates at one point.
Has there been any back and forth between you two after the Seahawks-Patriots game on Sunday?
No.
I'm going to go with no.
Should there be? You want to talk about it?
We got our own problems.
Yeah, I already said that. We have problems.
You did say that. We're gonna get it right.
How can you guys get Jeremiah involved maybe earlier, just in general more?
Yeah, we'll see how the game goes. We'll see how the openers go and first quarter goes, and hopefully we'll get him going. He's a great player. He's got a lot of good attributes. We're gonna get him involved as much as we can. And so, it'll be the right time when we give him the ball.
Steve, I assume you probably scout both quarterbacks, knowing that they've played 2 quarterbacks this year. What are some of the similarities between the 2, and what are some of the differences?
I've said it a couple times. Like, every player is different. Every player is different. You gotta respect everybody's game. No, I think they're both good players. You've seen them both run. You've seen them both throw, which most quarterbacks do that, both of those at some point in the game. So we respect them both, and whoever they put out there is up to them. We just got to be ready to go on our side of the ball.
Steve, I noticed you have a yellow sheet of paper on the sideline. Is that more for notes during the game, or how do you kind of approach in-game strategy in that regard?
I don't know. No, it's not for notes. I take notes, but I don't know. I just have a yellow sheet of paper. Never really thought too much of it.
All right, anything else? All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Great job.
We're gonna find out about this yellow sheet thing.
How difficult was that loss to swallow, especially given that it's, I think you're both last year here?
Oh, I mean, it's tough. Like, it's always tough to lose with how much work and preparation you put in. You never want to lose any game. Obviously, a rivalry game is emotionally, you know, a little bit bigger than other games and stuff. So it's hard, but it's on to the next. Now we got to prepare for Northwestern and have a good week of practice.
Is this week a little different? I mean, you're entering the Big Ten. You've been here a long time. You played Big Ten teams before, but not as a conference opponent. It must be different. It must feel different.
Not necessarily. I think, you know, I take every game and very serious in my preparation and how I go about, you know, each week and how I prepare. You know, I respect every opponent out there, and in my head, it's nothing crazy. Obviously, we're entering the Big Ten, a new conference, but for me personally, I prepare the same.
So put it this way, it is kind of a landmark week for Washington.
For
I mean,
sure.
just that they move into this new league. So, I mean, you're part of history.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting, you know, moving to the Big Ten and, you know, just wanting to show that the teams on the West aren't, you know, the stereotype of what they say.
Cam, what did, you know, losing Alaska mean to you? Again, you're a 6-year guy here, you spent a lot of time here, and can't feel good to go out that way, I guess.
Yeah, it was you know, obviously leaves a bitter taste in my mouth, you know, knowing that's my last Apple Cup, but, you know, just got to move on.
Have you seen the team kind of respond in the last couple of days to the loss?
Yeah, we have a 24-hour rule, you know, soak it all in, 24 hours, and then come Monday, you know, flush it down the toilet and move on.
What's been the message from the coaching staff about how to handle this?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we just got to flush it. We're moving on to the next week, you know, going into conference play. It's going to be a big week of preparation and just go from here.
What are your initial thoughts on Northwestern's offense? Their quarterbacks, I think, play at 3 different schools now. How difficult is it to game plan for a guy who doesn't necessarily have a ton of film where he's currently at?
Yeah, I mean, just watching, you know, his tendencies, you know, obviously Northwestern's a good team. They're a big physical team, and just watching a lot of film and doing my film study and preparing for him and just going back and looking at other film.
When you took the field on Saturday, you guys tried something different. You put a whole new different defensive lineman out there. Were you kind of excited to see how it worked? Because you took the edge rushers off the field. You had 3 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, which is kind of old-time football. And then your 5 in the secondary. Were you curious to see what this customized defense was going to look like?
I mean, you know, I trust Coach Belichick and everything he does. You know, he's been to the highest level. So I put all my trust in him and just go out there and execute and, you know, do my 111.
Did it work?
You know, I think so. I think so, it did.
48 hours later, you know, you guys had those 16 penalties. What would you guys kind of attribute to why that happened, I guess?
Just being a undisciplined, you know, football team. I think we're working on that and just learning to do our 111 and do it the right way.
CD, Northwestern's got a pretty strong defense. They return a lot of guys. I just wonder what has allowed them, from what you've seen, what's allowed Northwestern to have such success defensively?
Their physical defense all around. I'll say they're technically sound for sure, and their DBs, their safeties, their corners, they come down, they play to run fast. So, you know, I think that's what has allowed them success so far. So as running backs, we just need to come in, bring our A game, pass pro, be good in all aspects of the game.
Cam Fab, that new quarterback for Northwestern came in last week, didn't throw an incompletion in the second half. I guess maybe what did you see watching that game back, and how do you guys kind of prepare for you know, a guy that might be getting into more of a rhythm as he's kind of getting some starting experience?
Yeah, I mean, what I saw, he's a good quarterback. You know, goes through his progression and, you know, makes smart decisions. So we got to be fundamentally sound in the back end and in the front. So what we do.
Cam Davis, when you guys were looking at the scouting report of these guys, did it come up that the guy that started the first 2 games at quarterback was Rogers' backup last year at Mississippi State?
We didn't talk about that.
Could have been all Mississippi State quarterback duel this weekend. Still might. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy.
I don't know if you know, but Northwestern hasn't given up a rushing touchdown yet this season. You guys haven't had a rushing touchdown in back-to-back games after we were taking them. I guess what's the mindset or kind of tone in that running back room going into this week? I'm assuming there's probably some extra hunger to kind of get back on the board.
Right. Well, it's the same thing each week, every week. It doesn't matter on the opponent. break tackles, make the first guy miss, and just make plays, be a playmaker no matter what the circumstance or situation we're in. You know, obviously we got a deep room. We can all make guys miss, and so, you know, that's just the plan going into this week.
How have you seen the growth in Adam Muhammad through these first 3 games? Obviously, he had a couple of good runs against Wazoo. Where have you seen the biggest growth in this game?
I mean, he's came in just a very mature player, even in fall camp and everything. So, you know, I'd just say taking in the game plan each and every week has been an impressive thing. You know, just coming in as a freshman, he's very developed, as you guys see, physically and just also mentally. So, you know, that's really cool seeing a young guy come in and just, you know, get the job done.
Are you at full strength after missing an entire season and you're 3 games into this one? Is everything working, everything back to the way it was?
Yeah, I'm most definitely at full strength.
Cam Fab, you guys are kind of light at the second level with Anthony and Drew being out. Just what's impressed you about Kamori and Brian Parham so far?
Yeah, I mean, with Kamori, young guy coming in from high school, you know, getting a lot of playing time. You know, he's been real good. You know, I mean, he's smart, physical. You know, he's relentless. He shows a lot of effort. And then Brian coming in, you know, he had a lot of experience at San Jose. Just another linebacker and another leader on the defense.
Sometimes you guys play those 3 safety looks, and you and Cam, your starter, down in the box. I guess what are your responsibilities when you're playing a little closer to the line?
Just having a more, I guess, like linebacker mindset. You know, obviously playing in the box. You know, I played in the box last year a little bit, but it's nothing new.
Speaking of Cam Broussard, it seems like you two are getting a lot more run together. How do you guys just kind of feed off each other in the secondary?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all feed off each other. You know, Efi on the outside, Elijah, Thad, even Jay Shaw in the back. I think just collectively as a DB unit, just carrying the death row and the DBU tradition here.
Cam, how do you spend your Sundays? Because I know you guys as a team, it's Tell the Truth Sundays, but for you, you got Asa in Florida, Trent, some other guys in the NFL. How do you spend your Sundays after you leave the building here?
Yeah, I mean, I like to relax, watch some Sunday night football. You know, I still talk to my guys. You know, those are guys that I came in with. You know, I love them to death, and you know, just update them, and they update me, and we just, you know, keep it close.
Did any of the guys in the NFL ask you how different this staff is? Because obviously those guys came in under Peterson. And
yeah, for sure. I mean, they like updates. You know, they're alumni as well, so they like to ask what it's like to be, you know, a part of, you know, different coaching changes and all that. But you know, I just give them my honest opinion and go from there.
Anything else for these guys? All right.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you guys.